Hi, welcome to the 21-22 school year. My name is Mrs. Frizzell, and this is Science 8. You are joining me from my home office today. I have managed to start the school year 6, so I'm working from home this week. I guess that's one of the benefits to doing school online is that we can work from just about anywhere. So I wanted to start the year by sharing a bit about myself so that you could get to know me. I know often when we're working miles apart, computer screen to computer screen, it can feel as if there's nobody on the other side. And so I just wanted to share a bit about myself, and I hope that you guys will take the time to do the same and help me get to know you a little bit better as well. So I'm going to turn my camera the other way and let's get started. So let's see here. So this is me, and this is when you're logged into Buzz, this is the profile picture you'll see for science class. As you're getting started, you can create your own profiles too, so please be sure to upload a picture of yourself or maybe your family or something that's important to you. I live in Chewelah, Washington, which is north of Spokane, just kind of right in between Spokane and the Canadian border there. It's kind of a small little town. We joke that there's one stoplight in town, and here she is. It's kind of a small little town. We like it a lot here. I think it's kind of a pretty place to live, and the people are really nice. Some of you guys may hear me discussing where I grew up. I grew up in Western Washington, just south of Seattle in Maple Valley. And I always have at least one or two kids from Maple Valley. So kind of curious. I know I'll get a couple more this year. And yeah. You'll also hear me talk about Alaska. I spent about half of my adult years in Alaska, so just kind of outside of Fairbanks in a small town of Esther. And then just kind of for reference, here's Alaska. Esther's right in this area here. And then down here's Washington. And I reference Alaska quite a bit, and especially in the science class that I teach, because there's so many cool examples. For example, Northern Lights. This picture was taken from home, the Chitna River. This is an area we spent a lot of time camping and fishing. This is Denali. We landed on a glacier here, winter camping, and then a couple of grizzly cubs. Bears everywhere, so kind of cool. Day length and seasons are especially interesting up there and can get kind of crazy. So in the summer, it doesn't get dark, and then in the winter it stays daylight for most of the daylight hours, and that's on account of the Earth's tilt and how far north we are. So this picture here on the left was taken in the summer at about 2 a.m., whereas this picture on the right was taken in the winter at about 2 p.m. So this picture on the right was taken from my home, and we could watch the sunrise at about 11 o'clock. It'd peak up right here to the left of the mountain, come up, and then by about 2 o'clock it'd dip down on the other side. So really the sun in the winter, it never really gets up too far. Here in Chewelah, my family, we run a working cattle ranch, so when I'm not teaching, I'm often outside doing ranch chores. My favorite chores are always those that occur on a horse's back. So here on the left, hay's down. You can see it's cut into windrows. And then next step, after it dries, we'll bale it up. And then on the right here, just kind of riding fences to make sure everything's in good repair. Just some pictures of some cows and calves on the place. Calving season is probably the most fun time of the year around here. Horses, we have horses. We don't do a whole lot of ranch stuff on our horses. I try to make excuses to do it, but we don't. We do most of our ranch chores on ATVs and things like that. But these are a couple of babies we've raised on the place. This is Gus. He still cuddles even as a big adult, and believe it or not, that's this big guy in the back here. Scout, she just turned 2 last winter, and she'll actually be a show horse, hopefully. We have 3 dogs, Elwood, Maggie, and Minnie. Elwood and Maggie are Newfoundlands, pretty large. Elwood's about 140 pounds, and he's been known to get a really good fluger from time to time. As you notice, the big drool there. And we joke that he's our star. He was featured in our local newspaper as the pet of the week, so he's our little superstar. Maggie, you'll often hear Maggie if I'm working from home. She likes to lay on her back, always on her back, and almost always under my feet. So often we'll be doing discussion-based assessments in science, and kids will say, "What's that noise?" Well, it's just Maggie. She's snoring. I don't think she finds science too exciting. She's not quite as excited about science as I am. And then this is Minnie. I have no idea what kind of dog Minnie is, but we call her Minnie because she's pretty small. She's only about 30 pounds, and she's full of energy. Always needs to go for walks and runs and just constantly on the move. And I included these other pictures just so that you could see what it looks like where we live. Maggie and Elwood are always getting into mischief. Picture of Maggie here on the right. She'd eaten a birthday cake. I don't think she's too ashamed of herself. I think caught her licking her lips. And then here on the left, taking Elwood for a walk. I took a picture of my watch because I didn't think anybody would believe me. As you can see, we've not even made it a half mile, and we're walking at a pace of about 32 minutes a mile. Elwood has been known to just give up and take a nap in the middle of the road and stop traffic. Kind of embarrassing. Luckily, there's not a lot of traffic here, and our neighbors know us pretty well. In the winter, I enjoy skiing. These two pictures on the left and right are taken from our local mountain, 49 degrees north. In fact, on this chair, you'll see my people. There's my husband, my nephew, and then a couple of friends that are like family to us. Summers do a lot of kayaking. These two pictures are taken on Ross Lake. This one in the middle, you guys in Spokane will probably recognize this. This is the Upper Priest Lake. And then on the right, this is probably my favorite trip. We took a trip to Jackson Lake, just south of Yellowstone National Park. Those are the Grand Teton Mountains. And loved to load the kayaks up and just go for the week, kind of camping as we go from campground to campground. I love to read all different genres. I used the Harry Potter book as my example because a few years ago I got to visit Universal Studios and the Harry Potter theme park. It was a lot of fun, and I know that a lot of you guys enjoy that series as well. I love to travel. I don't get to do it all that often, but Scotland is one of my favorite places I've visited. These two pictures I thought they're special to me. This place on the right was a castle. It's one of the most photographed castles in the world, and it's even been used in a few different movies, but I thought it was really pretty. And then this on the left is an area called Glencoe. It's in the Scottish Highlands, and I think the landscape here is just beautiful. Fun fact, and I didn't realize this until we were visiting, but this landscape or this area in Glencoe, it's often used as a backdrop in movies. You may recognize it in the Harry Potter series. So the next time you watch the Harry Potter movies, especially I think it's the later movies, you'll notice this landscape used as the background for Hogwarts. Iceland, probably my favorite place I've ever visited. As a science teacher, the geology in Iceland, it's so amazing to me. Two continental plates join here in Iceland, and because of that, it's very geologically active. This picture in the upper left might look kind of boring, but really what happened here just a week before we visited, there was the plate started shifting, and it created this huge area where the land just separated. So you can see it's quite large right down here. Those are people. So that happened in less than a week's time. Kind of cool. Gardening in the summer, I spend a lot of my time digging in the dirt. In a former life, I was a high school horticulture teacher, so this is a huge passion of mine. And then Saturdays are often spent down in Pullman for Cougar football games. Love the spirit down there, and was a Wazoo alum, so that place is pretty special to me. This picture on the far right is also really special because the girl on the right, her name is Lynn, and she was an exchange student here, and we don't have children of our own, so we often call Lynn our Swiss daughter. But Lynn and her friend B's from Italy, they would often go down with us for the football games, and they thought it was pretty cool too. The whole idea of school spirit is something that they don't really experience in their own communities back in Western Europe. So, and then last but not least, science. I'm a science teacher because it's my passion. I love science. When I think about some of my hobbies, I think that I'm so interested in them because I want to know more. In science, we take what we already know and we apply it to the world around us and it helps us to answer questions about the things that we're observing. So I think that's pretty special. Like I said, I'm interested in you guys. I'd love to know more. What are some of your hobbies, things that you enjoy? And I hope that we get an opportunity to get to know each other this school year. So welcome aboard. And if you have questions as you're going, remember, check out that orientation course. And if you have questions, give me a call, email, or you can chat me on Teams.